How far would you go to achieve a dream lifestyle on the other side of the world? Especially if it meant dividing your family in two. Paul and Sherry Wintrip are desperate for a better life.
Not working 70 hours a week. It's not about the materialism, it's about us actually having time to still be a family.
But there's a problem. One son definitely isn't coming and the other can't face leaving his girlfriend.
I would say she is the one. Yeah, she's really special.
And as the reality of saying goodbye to loved ones hits home, the family come close to breaking point.
I just couldn't imagine not being around.
Australia is an incredible 30 times bigger than the UK, but with less than a third of the population. And thanks to increased work opportunities and a renowned outdoor lifestyle, it's been the #1 destination for British people looking to emigrate for over 25 years. Paul and Sherry Wintrip have long dreamed of moving to Australia. Now they have just 1 week to see if the country can offer them the lifestyle they're after and persuade son Ryan to join them. When it's over, they'll have to decide whether to keep their family united in the UK or start a new life down under. After 9,000 miles and over 19 hours travelling the globe, the Wintrips touched down in Perth. Their eldest son Luke has chosen to remain in the UK, so the long flight's given Sherry plenty of time to contemplate what happens if the country fails to impress second son Ryan.
If we have to split the family even further, that's going to have a really emotional pull. So it is really crunch time for us.
I've got a good life in the UK, I've got a girlfriend living there, so it's going to be a big decision for me to make.
Dad Paul's feeling the pressure too.
Because it's my idea, I'm secretly the most terrified actually. There's a lot riding on my shoulders. If it all goes right, it'll be Sherry's idea anyway. So yeah, a lot riding on this week.
In the UK, the Wintrips live in Braintree, Essex. Their dad Paul, mum Sherry, 21-year-old Ryan and 18-year-old Grace. A tight-knit family, the couple's older son Luke also lives nearby.
When our first child left home, a lot of our friends were going, "Hooray, 2 to go." And we're like, I was crying for 3 months. I walked into a car door and I had to have stitches because I was crying so much.
We're a very close-knit family, yeah. We were always like either going around there or going out together, like doing things. It's hard because we're always working, but when we get time together, it's brilliant.
Paul's an electrical engineer and Sherry owns a beauty salon. The couple have worked hard to support their family, but are now exhausted by the long hours.
Not working 70 hours a week would just be, that would seal the deal. It's not about the materialism, it's about us actually having time to still be a family, to eat a meal once a week as a family.
And I just can't see myself keep the pace up for another 20, 25 years in the UK.
Daughter Grace agrees with her parents.
They are constantly kind of like full speed ahead, and then when they do stop, it's just literally just crash because they work so much, it's ridiculous.
And after all that work and bringing up 3 children, Paul and Sherry are ready for a new adventure.
Moving to Australia's been in my back of my mind for a good 10 years, I suppose.
The way I tend to sort of describe it to myself is I feel like I've been wearing slippers for 20 years and I just want to put some stilettos on there and have a bit of a wobble.
So keen are they to get going, 4 years ago the family applied for a permanent residency visa for Australia. But in the time it's taken to process, oldest son Luke has decided to stay in the UK with his wife Abby, and that's causing heartache throughout the family.
Leaving my eldest son behind is probably the most stressful bit about the whole thing.
You'll find it quite difficult to be away from your dad as well, because you and your dad are really close.
Yeah, I will find it difficult like that.
Knowing that Luke would love to come with us, even though he's married, like I say, he'd love his wife to come with us. But obviously she's got her family as well. It just makes it a lot more complicated and it's not a win-win situation.
On top of that, because second son Ryan is financially independent, the family visa no longer covers him. And his relationship with girlfriend Amy is a further hurdle.
Leaving my girlfriend behind would be upsetting.
I love him, like I don't want him to go, but that's for selfish reasons. I want him to be happy, so therefore I want the best for him.
The thought of Ryan staying is throwing the whole family into turmoil.
If I wasn't to make the decision of going to Australia, I still would want my parents to go, but I'm not sure if they would or not.
If he decided he didn't want to come, yeah, it'd make it a whole different ball game.
I don't know, I'm really close to him. Really close to my brothers. But like recently, it's just because we've all grown up. Like, I don't know, I just couldn't imagine him not being around.
Don't make me cry.
It's an emotionally charged situation, and with time running out on their visa, the dream of moving is beginning to rip the family apart.
I feel guilty if they ever stayed and they didn't go for it and go for their dreams. But at the same time, it is going to be very hard to begin with.
It drags you down. The whole reason for getting out of the UK was to sort of have a slightly less stressful life, and for the last 3 years at least, it's probably been more stressful with your life in limbo.
And it's so far. It's not like it's just across to France, a couple of hours on a ferry. It is, 2 days to get to us. That makes it even harder.
Everything now rests on the next few days as the family desperately hope they can persuade Ryan to join them. Home for their trial week is this 3-bedroom house in Safety Bay, a beachside suburb just over 30 miles from the city of Perth. But what will the Wintrips make of it?
Let's see what we've got ourselves in for.
Do you reckon this is the main lounge, or?
Who knows? It's difficult to tell, isn't it?
Paul doesn't seem too excited, and the kitchen isn't wowing Sherry either.
I was just thinking how many takeaways I would be having. It's
Yeah, it looks like
a bit like a caravan kitchenette, isn't it?
Oh dear, will the rest of the house be any better?
It's a bit run down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit dated.
We've stayed in worse places.
But Grace isn't as easygoing.
Is that seriously the shower? Yeah. Have you seen how tall it is?
You'll have to sit down in the shower.
It's like that.
And the shower isn't the only thing not measuring up.
It's disgusting. But why is it there? It's just weird.
My favourite bit would be the front door to get out of it.
It's good-natured banter, but could Ryan's response be a sign of what's to come?
I would still like to find out more, and I'm hoping this experience would make me a bit more wiser on the decision I want to make.
And as the family make themselves at home 9,000 miles from Essex, the reality of their situation begins to sink in.
I know Sherry's puts a brave face on it, but I know she's breaking inside a little bit.
80% of me wants to embrace this opportunity, but 20% of me is petrified because I feel the responsibility of getting it right for everybody.
I am probably more nervous and scared than anything else.
We can't get serious issues that we've got in our heads cleared up in this week and get some solid answers. I think we'd leave it all in tatters.
Back in the UK, home for the Wintrips is this 4-bedroom detached house in Braintree, Essex.
Years and years ago, when we were very young parents, we aspired to move to a house like this. This was our driving force.
They think it's worth around £385,000.
One of the hardest things, beside leaving my children, would be leaving this house.
So what kind of property in Australia could make giving this one up easier?
Standard, open planned, 4-bedroom. We want 4 bedrooms when people come to stay, hopefully.
Modern.
Don't want a tiny little plot. You want a reasonable sized plot. And a swimming pool's always going to be nice. Always going to be nice, isn't it?
The Wintrips' property budget is around £500,000. Today, we'll show them 3 houses based on what they think they can afford, what they'd ideally like, and one in between. Only after they've seen each one will they find out its value. The first house is in Secret Harbour, 40 miles south of Perth. It's an established neighbourhood close to beaches and shops, which should keep Sherry happy. But will the house offer the modern living they're all after?
Nice big hall, isn't it?
What is this?
Oh, wow.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, like this.
Nice. Let us see each. No, this works. Very nice, tastefully done.
A cinema room. Every home should have one.
No, that wasn't really on my wish list, but yeah, I'd take it if it was there, yeah.
The first house has got off to a cracking start, and with 5 bedrooms, this property should have the space the family need.
Yeah, nice little area, isn't it?
Grandchildren's room?
Oh. Don't even go there. All right, it's Ryan's room.
I personally wouldn't change anything about this room.
Whatever makes you happy, Ryan.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant view out there.
You're not overlooked, but like,
It's
yeah,
not awful. You should put something there.
could be worse.
That's the spirit pool. But how's the rest of the house looking?
It's very modern and low maintenance, isn't it?
Oh, yes. This works. Yeah.
Oh.
My favourite book, the wine rack.
Is it safe to assume Sherry could be happy in this kitchen?
It's a good size, it's open plan, plenty of surface area for working, and I could move straight into this.
Knowing Sherry's content should make Paul's life easier too.
Lovely. Yeah, definitely liking this. Oh, wow. Oh, look. His and hers. This could be the guest room.
More like hers and hers, and I'll get the corner down there. Yeah?
I think it's fair to say this place is a hit.
First impressions, I'm really, really happy, especially the contrast to what we're staying in.
But is the best still to come?
That's just fantastic.
Nice outdoor sofas.
Barbecue.
That's fantastic.
Pool.
Ryan's just spotted the house's very own pool, but is it all too good to be true?
What's it holding back?
Yeah.
How big is the neighbour's dog? I find this wall a bit off-putting. Looks a bit like a prison.
It does make the property feel a little bit hemmed in.
That's taken the shine off things, but could the price make a difference? Is it within their £500,000 budget?
What do you think?
I really like it. It's just that wall for me. I'm not sure whether I could live with that.
I'd say $600,000.
I'll go middle of the road then, 550.
Oh,
527.
that's the closest.
Yeah, so
But Sherry's misread the price and comes back to earth with a bump.
Quite expensive, isn't it?
yeah. No, I would have only put about $550. I read the wrong sign.
No, that's quite a shock, actually.
£27,000 over budget and walled in like a prison. Let's hope Property 2 is more of a success. Situated in Baldivis, this 5-bedroom house comes with an acre of land in an area close to shops and schools. It's slightly closer to Perth and further from the beach, but will it offer more value for money?
It's a massive property.
I don't know whether we would have chose to look at something with so much bushland around it.
Doesn't look very low maintenance, does it?
But before they head inside, something catches Paul's attention.
I've just seen a skull in the tree. No, honestly, that's not right. Who would do that?
Is Paul already having doubts about this property?
Straight into a master bedroom, look. Looks a bit more modern than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, I'm
Being out there,
surprised. I was expecting it to look a little bit rustic.
This house is definitely more rural than the last one and comes with a soundtrack to prove it.
That's Australian living. What is that? What is it? Birds, is it? Just sound like monkeys.
Sound monkeys, don't it? Yeah.
And Sherry spotted her route to the good life.
We've got chickens.
They haven't got chickens.
I wouldn't mind that.
You're on your own there.
I know.
Definitely on your own there.
OK, forget the chickens. Is there anything here that would excite Paul?
I don't know, sounds a bit tacky, to be honest with you. Don't like it.
Maybe not, but Sherry's determined to win him over.
So there's plenty of living space, so if we did have friends and family and grandchildren come over, there's plenty of room for them to not be in each other's way.
We've got no grandchildren. Ain't happening. So I'm actually a bit fearful it's going to be too big, this one. Actually, I thought I'd never say that about a house, but I think it's just it's massive.
Although Grace thinks the opposite when she checks out her potential bedroom.
Compared to the rest of the house, it does seem quite small because there's not much storage actually in the room. just don't like it. I can just imagine a snake coming out or something. Oh.
They do come with the territory, but hopefully there won't be any reptiles in the pool.
This could definitely work for us. No, I do like it. I'd be a little bit worried about some wildlife issues, but I think that's just something that us Brits would have to get used to anyway.
And Sherry's not giving up on those chickens.
I would love like a little small coop like this. Fresh eggs in the morning, and I know we're very different like that, aren't we?
Decent bit of chicken on the barbecue at night.
This property is dividing opinion, but will it be within their £500,000 budget?
It's grown on me. When I first approached the property, I didn't really hold out much hope for me liking it at all.
I think it's too big.
You don't want to come home, be doing cleaning all the time, do you? Come to Australia so you can sort of have more of a relaxing sort of life.
Imagine how stressed you'd be then with cleaning. A house half the size and you're like crazy.
Ryan and Grace are taking their dad's side, but will seeing what this house costs be enough to change everyone's minds?
Go on in, Grace. See how much this one's worth. £600,000. It's definitely not worth that amount of money. Unless them chickens lay golden eggs, that's no way.
Even more expensive than the first property, the Wintrips are beginning to appreciate just how dear housing in Perth really is. Can the final one help keep their dream alive? This 4-bedroom property is situated near the centre of Mandurah, a small city that's cheaper than Perth but still offers shops and nightlife. So it could help Ryan see the potential of life down under.
It's really nice, isn't it?
Nice location. This is nice. Big entrance again. Cool, like that. It's really unusual. Wow. Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that. I noticed the fans.
Sherry's blown away, but Paul's seeing pound signs.
I think she might be disappointed. I reckon this is going to be very expensive, this house.
Dad, we need this one. It just seems perfect.
Might actually get you to wash up.
That actually make me wash up, I think.
Yeah.
It's a bit special, isn't it? A bit unique.
Yeah.
You wouldn't find this in Essex.
But if this house costs what Paul thinks, could they afford the lifestyle it's been designed for?
We just have to make friends with the rich neighbours.
Yeah.
Borrow the boat.
Don't borrow your boat.
That family from Essex that's moved in. They'd love that, wouldn't they?
Go on, Paul, admit it, you love it.
Imagine looking out there every day. Probably every morning just before I go to work for 18 hours to pay for it.
This house definitely has the modern, spacious interiors the family were hoping for and could enhance the outdoor living Sherry wants.
Oh, so you've got the hot tub and the small pool.
Yeah, plunge
So
pool,
there
yeah.
you go, instead of overall. Jet ski. Hadn't thought of that, had we, Ryan? Definitely for the time in our lives at the moment, this would tick a lot of boxes. In our leisure time, with the waterways and the outdoor living, with low maintenance. No, definitely do like it.
Something else that might please is the local wildlife.
Really? Dolphins in...
Oh, you're kicking my arse, stop it.
Oh, he's going to
sit in the pool.
He's getting cross now. Look.
Paul's erring on the side of caution, but Ryan's just as carried away as his mum.
If my mum and dad were to purchase a property like this, I would definitely move out to Australia.
See, now I'm happy. Just got to work on Luke.
With so much riding on this house, it's time to put everyone out of their misery. Exactly how much would it cost?
You see how much it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Oh no, I actually feel butterflies.
Bang on the mark, right?
Bang on.
There's so many zeros I'm trying to work out in my head.
It's $1 million.
Just a minute.
$1 million.
684,000.
So what sort of mortgage would we have to have for that then?
Massive.
Despite a healthy £500,000 budget, the dream house might not be achievable. The first house the Wintrips viewed had modern interiors, but an imposing wall left the family feeling hemmed in. Property 2 was a bit rural, and at £600,000, Paul found it poor value for money. Finally, the family fell for a $1 million house, but Paul and Sherry would need great paying jobs if they were to make it their home. So based on what they've learned, will the Wintrips choose property in the UK or Australia?
Based on our experience of Australian property, our vote goes to
Australia.
We're all Australian.
I'm only really concerned about the last property we viewed, the $1 million house. That's just going to push us too far. The other ones are fine.
I could see us as a family enjoying life in a house over here.
The Wintrips have seen some stunning properties, but Paul will need a stunning salary if they're to make one their home. So the pressure's on for him to get a positive result on the job front. Back in the UK, Paul is an electromechanical engineer in the bakery and catering sector. He enjoys the job, and finding something similar is essential.
Since I was 14, I haven't been out of work. I've always been working. I wouldn't want to make myself jobless. That's just a crazy, crazy prospect.
And if Barbara Ryan does decide to move, he'll initially travel on a working holiday visa. But the big issue will be what happens next.
A 12-month holiday visa basically gives me 12 months to find a job in which I can get sponsored. So doing that might be harder than I would have thought, really.
Sherry's praying things will work out for Ryan.
If it's his life choice for whatever reason that he wants to stay here, relationship, employment, his brother, family and friends. But if he wants to go and it's not viable for him, that's going to be even harder for us, I think.
We've arranged for Paul and Ryan to explore the job market in Perth. Paul has a meeting at a family-run business specialising in catering equipment, and the owner's son Gavin is happy to show him around.
What sort of area? The whole of Western Australia we cover.
The whole of Western Australia?
Yep, so we might get a phone call right now. The mine site have a broken oven and they'll expect us on a plane. Yeah, we'll get on a plane.
The area you're talking about is probably, well, it's probably the size of about 4 UKs.
Yeah.
And I only do probably a quarter of the UK. So yeah, it's a large area to cover.
The scale of operations may be bigger, but is the equipment familiar territory for Paul?
Do you see those in the UK?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's new to the market, probably 6 months old.
It's so similar to the ones I work with, actually.
That's one less thing to worry about. Across town, Ryan's visiting an all-male grooming salon.
Then we've got the lounge. They can relax, they can read the paper.
But Ryan's not here to relax, as proprietor Lester has lined up a client to see if he can make the cut. Back at the factory, Gavin explains to Paul that all electrical engineers need an A-class licence before they can work in Australia.
You need to be licensed here.
Could you work on a restricted licence for yourselves until you actually got the A-class?
I would suggest you do it before you come rather than getting here, because we couldn't employ someone that isn't licensed.
Bad news for Paul. Getting the licence can be a lengthy process, and without it, his prospects don't look good. Over at the salon, has Ryan done enough to impress?
Ryan knows what he's doing. Wish him the best of luck, and I'll see him back here for a beer.
With a happy customer, Ryan gets down to the business of securing work as a barber. He wants to pursue a sponsored visa, but will that be easier said than done?
Have I got a good chance of getting sponsored in Australia?
Well, having a look, you've got a good resume, very presentable, and you've obviously got 6 years experience, and we've seen you do a haircut, so I think there's a very good chance you're being sponsored.
If he does find a sponsor, Ryan can expect to earn the market rate of around £22,000. But are there jobs?
So is there a lot of work available in Perth?
Being transient industry, people are coming and going, so there's always jobs opening up. And there is a real shortage too.
Again, it's good news. Meanwhile, Paul's finding out if moving here would give him the work-life balance he's desperate to secure.
Do the guys you have to work shift patterns? Or?
No, we work a 5-day week, which is 7:30 to 4 o'clock is our normal working week. There's also overtime on that, being a breakdown business.
Beats 60 plus hours a week in the UK, but is the money as good?
What sort of salary is it for a service technician in WA?
We work on an hourly rate. Service technician would average about $85,000 a year.
That's fantastic, yeah. It's quite a bit more than what I'm on now.
Is that right?
Yeah, quite a bit more.
Potentially earning around £10,000 for less hours in Perth is brilliant news, but Paul still has concerns.
Still have quite a way to go. Obviously, you still need an electrical licence, which can take some time to get. But I feel quite confident when I do get it, I can get a good paying job.
For the dream move to happen, it's vital Ryan feels the same way. So has it been a good day all round for the men at work?
Based on our work experience, we're voting for Australia.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about working in Australia, thinking it might be really different to the UK, but what I've seen today, it's no different at all.
The prospects of earning a lot more money is there, and the fact that I can come over on a holiday visa is good because I can work somewhere for 6 months, see if I fit in, see if I get on well with them, and then we take it from there.
Well, I think we've cleaned up, mate.
Yeah, I think we've done well.
We're going to ditch the girls and move to Australia.
Well, we're sorted, yeah.
Ryan's vote for work in Australia has given Sherry's hopes of keeping the 4 of them together a massive boost. But will the Aussie lifestyle they've all been dreaming of live up to their expectations? In the UK, the family have precious little time together.
We make the most of the time that we do have as a family for quality time, but there isn't normally a lot of it because if my mum's not working, my dad is.
Today, they're trying out a popular Perth pastime, kayaking on the Swan River. It's put them out of their comfort zone and given them time to reflect on the lifestyle they could have.
All the activities doing in the UK are always indoors, so it's nice to be on the outdoors.
There's no one else out here, which is nice and a little bit worrying at the same time, actually, that this leisure balance that the Australians have. Why is no one else out on the water?
Ever the cynic, Paul. Perhaps a barbecue in the park will be enough to put you at ease.
This wouldn't happen in the UK, would it? All 4 of us cooking together. It's going to get much better than this for me. It's my ideal of heaven, this family around me, eating food together.
But as they tuck into food, thoughts turn to home and the loved ones left behind.
It'd be nice if like Luke was here, like looking at me.
Yeah, that's true.
You missing them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
weirdly.
Now we've been here a few days, it starts to kick in, doesn't
It
it?
was just weird because it's like all family stuff that we've been doing and he's not here, so.
It's definitely gutting that we can't have everyone here, like my family, the whole family, and also I wouldn't be able to be out here with my friends that I've known for a long time. I'd have to start from scratch again and meet new friends.
That's the thing, like, yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I'd rather be doing this with the people that like are home.
It's a sobering thought, and for Sherry in particular, it raises the fear she's been avoiding, leaving eldest son Luke behind in the UK.
If we come and if Luke followed in a few years, would you feel happier, do you think?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it's not just your friends, it is leaving your brother?
Oh
then?
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we're like a close family, aren't we? So difficult just leaving potentially both my brothers, even if Ryan did come. Both of them.
Every now and then I get a little wave of emotion about whether or not, you know, I could cope with feeling like this if we did move, and how long would it last for? I know when he left home the first time, I cried solidly for 3 months.
I'll probably be the worst one out of both of us, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
He's your drinking buddy, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's like, both the boys are like best friends.
Today has given the family quality time together, as well as an awful lot of time to think.
You're okay. You alright?
Yeah, I'll be fine in a minute.
We're going to
Sure.
see him on your birthday.
I know. Just
We've got
avoided
like
the
4
question
days.
all week, haven't we?
Yeah.
And the lifestyle in Australia is far better. It's just whether everyone can deal with the emotional effects of making that move. You know, it might turn out that this dream of living in Australia and working in Australia may not ever happen, just purely because we all can't handle leaving loved ones behind.
With so much to think about, will the family ultimately choose the lifestyle in Australia or the UK?
Based on our lifestyle activities here today in Perth, we are voting for
Australia.
undecided.
Australia.
Why are you undecided, babe?
Although like the lifestyle's great and outdoors and everything, whether I'd enjoy it as much without everyone here.
I definitely have to consider my final decision, but at the moment I'm sticking with Australia.
Well, yeah, this would be a massive change from what we're used to in the UK, and a change for the better, I would have thought.
The barbecuing was fun, and I could see us doing it again. It was tinged with sadness, but I think that's just a case of I could see me enjoying my life here with this lifestyle, and the emotional side of it is something I'll just have to either get used to or get over.
If Paul and Sherry are to make a life down under a reality, getting the right price for their home in the UK will be vital. They reckon it's worth around £385,000, but will two local estate agents agree?
It's a very modern looking room, feels very light and bright, some nice bay windows at the front.
This is strange.
It's missed the study. Oh no, they've got
Oh my god.
Homed in on the family picture.
This is a really nice sized dining room. You can fit a good sized family table in here, but also the two windows to the front, obviously one being a bay window. Is it plenty of natural light?
My nice modern kitchen.
We've got flowers everywhere. I know.
Big range cooker and a big American fridge freezer. So this is everything that people are looking for in a nice modern house in this area.
This is a really, really nice garden. One of the main selling features actually. A nice decking area, obviously hot tub area, the AstroTurf garden as well.
God.
Grace's room.
Is that enough photos on the wall?
So the third bedroom has the built-in wardrobe, so again providing good storage space. I would value this house at $375,000. For a quick sale, I would value this around $360,000.
I'd value the house in the current market at $385,000. I think at $350,000 you'd achieve a quick sale.
You can sell anything on a quick for cheap, can't you? I wouldn't be happy with that. I wouldn't want to go down a route of renting it out. There's always a temptation, if something went wrong here, that I want to go back. If you've got nothing to go back to, you have to work it out, wouldn't you?
Or be homeless.
That's a scary thought, but it's time to consider how their finances could work in Australia. To help them out, we've provided a comparison of costs, starting with the weekly food shop.
Okay, peanut butter. This is a big one if Ryan comes. He gets through about 3 jars of this a week, doesn't he?
187 more.
Yeah, that's for just 1 jar.
Sherry shops around at home, but with only 2 major supermarket chains in Perth, finding a bargain might be tougher.
£7.85 more for mushrooms. I mean, that is just huge.
So taking this into account, how does the weekly bill look?
It is 130 pence. Ouch. That's £65.22.
More.
Yep.
If we look at our overall monthly figure, we're going to have to allow double for a food bill then.
On the plus side, Paul could potentially earn more.
11,600.
Better off, isn't it? So it's plus.
It's a good start, but basing their figures on property one, will it be enough to make up for the higher outgoings?
We've got 130,000 left in our mortgage, but we're going to have to increase our mortgage to buy property one to 221,000.
That's a £91,000 difference on mortgage.
With increased food and mortgage payments, how will this impact on their overall monthly expenditure?
Total monthly outgoings add up to...
Yes, 2,476.
That's pounds, isn't it?
Per month.
It's a lot of money, but will the bottom line be worse or better than expected?
£1,000 a month better off based on house number one.
That's on a house that cost $750,000.
that gives us such a good quality of life and a nice house on the beach. You couldn't have dreamed of that. So you happy?
Very, yeah.
So based on today's figures, will Paul and Sherry choose finances in Australia or the UK?
Australia! That wasn't going to be a hard decision, was it?
It was a tricky one, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Less hours, more money, and a bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
The finances are working in everyone's favour, but for this close-knit family, the biggest hurdle has always been the thought of leaving loved ones back in the UK. So how will they react to messages from home?
Hi guys, hope you're well, hope you're having a good time in Australia. We've missing you here, we can't wait for you to get back so you can tell us all about it.
Hi guys, hope you're having a lovely time in Australia and getting a nice lovely tan.
Hi Sherry, I understand you're in Australia now. That's a good call, girl. I hope you enjoy the weather and I hope you get a real inclination of what it's like in Australia.
They're there for you anytime, anywhere. They're just one bubbly, happy unit.
He's a genuinely nice guy, just like really kind, considerate, caring, always there. If I ever needed him, he'd be there. Just, yeah, he's lovely.
Because she'd built up such a business and a family life here in England, I thought she was pretty settled. But obviously, she's always looking for a new adventure.
We were shocked, I have to say, and when I got home that night after the pub, and when they told us, I must admit I was a bit sort of taken aback.
Like, I don't want them to think that we think it's only a phase for them, but if it does turn out that way, at least then they can turn around and go, well, we've done that, we learnt from it and we're stronger for it. So I'd rather them go out there and have a good time while they're out there and not worry about the fact that we're here and all the rest of it, and just enjoy the time they've got out there and see the positives and weigh it up properly.
I really hope you find everything that'll make you happy, and if not, come back. I still really love you, and of course life will be just as fantastic here with you in it.
Obviously we understand you will be missing Luke, but we'll keep an eye out for him, and rest assured that we will come and visit you one day.
If that's what they want, then could never stand in their way or want to, but yeah, we will miss them.
Yeah, without a doubt, Ryan is the biggest love of my life. If they went, I would miss Ryan like crazy. Definitely, yeah. It would be really, really hard. Really, I would struggle so much.
Even if you just give it a few years and decide it's not for you, you need to make that decision and go out there just to get it off your mind instead of wondering what if.
We're behind you, so just do what you've got to do. I can't say anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Weird seeing it, because we don't really talk about it that much at home. They don't actually say how they feel about it. They're just like, yeah, go for it. So
It has made me think a little bit.
You can see Luke, wasn't it? I still don't know whether he's just saying it.
Is he putting a brave face on, or is he
You
actually?
never know, do you? He's maybe the same stuff, isn't he? So maybe he's more behind us than you think, is he? Hope it made you cry.
Seeing everybody.
Just everybody, yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was good to see Amy again. It's definitely made the decision a bit more complicated for me watching that.
The greatest fear for the Wintrips has always been whether they could leave eldest son Luke back in the UK. So to have his blessing should make things easier. But for Ryan, hearing from his girlfriend has thrown his decision into doubt. And without him, the family's dream might be over. It's taken 4 years for the Wintrips to come this close to their dream life. But has the past week been enough to help them finally decide where their future might lie?
I definitely have seen a change in Paul since we started on this week.
If my chat with Gavin on the work experience day wasn't so positive, it would have ended the dream of coming out here, definitely.
I am torn between my love and commitment to Paul and what I want for the best for Grace for her future. But at the same time, I have brought all my children up to be strong, independent adults. And the only unnatural thing about it is the fact that I feel that I'm leaving them. That doesn't feel natural to me.
Sherry maybe surprised me most out of all of us. She's a very strong, confident person, and the one thing that hurts me is when I see her upset.
But Sherry isn't the only one upset by a move.
Me and Amy have got a really good relationship. I would say she is the one. We do loads together. She's really special.
Fully understand if Ryan didn't want to come because of his girlfriend back home. I could totally appreciate that. He wouldn't get any problems off of me if he decided that way.
I find it really hard if Ryan decided not to come to Australia. Whether my mum could be away from both my brothers for a long time would be quite difficult.
I do worry that Ryan might feel slightly under pressure to have to make the decision that he thinks that we want him to make.
I'm hoping none of them are going to say yes just to please me. That would not make me happy at all.
So with the final turn of the cards, will the Wintrips choose a future in the UK or Australia?
Based on our week in Australia, we are going to live in Australia. Undecided. What? Why are you undecided?
Well, I feel as though I need to go back to the UK and speak to Amy and see if she'll consider moving over here with us.
That's a good idea.
Before I make my decision.
Sure. And if she says no?
If she said no, I'd have to really think about my final decision.
Okay.
Would a jet ski help?
Jet ski always helps.
Jet ski always helps.
The opportunities out here for me and for everyone like you two as well are just so much better than in the UK. So why not give it a go?
If we don't do it, we're just going to regret it for the rest of our lives. Our miserable lives in the UK.
There's always going to be a little bit of heartache with leaving friends and loved ones, but this country this week has just given us so many options, and I could see us actually enjoying our life here.
Paul and Sherry always worried that Ryan would hold the final card, and his undecided vote proved their fear. But the rest of the family are finally reconciled to the heartache of leaving loved ones behind for the chance of a better life down under. And whatever happens next, we wish them all a very happy future.